Inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Colombian businesswoman Griselda Blanco comes a new Netflix original limited series. Griselda tells the story of a devoted mother who, with her lethal blend of charm and relentless savagery, creates one of the most powerful cartels in history. Witness Sofia Vergara's captivating transformation into the godmother of the underworld. Griselda, streaming January 25th, only on Netflix.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Okay. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Of course, to Rogue Media Network with Mike Hamilton, who's producing this episode, I truly appreciate it. And to all of you that continue to show me the utmost love and support, you guys truly, truly mean the world to me. Just got done recording an episode prior to this, and I had to get me a little drinky so that way I can keep on going, right? This job is hard. This job is freaking hard to be doing for 3 hours at a time, okay? Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this or encourage you guys first to like, share, and subscribe this episode, please. And I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by David Santabanez with Linear Real Estate. He's the #1 sales agent in his office. That's why he's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. It's the new year. You want to get you a new home, something that's more fitting for you and your family. Hit up my boy David Santabanez. He's going to walk you through the process step by step. Y si habla español también. Follow him on the number on the screen. Follow on Facebook at David with a Linea. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Armstrong's Bayou Cafe with Anika Armstrong, serving the most authentic Cajun cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. Listen, you guys already know that all the pastas are absolutely my favorite, of course, being the crabby seafood pasta. But listen, I recommend every single thing. The potatoes are good. Everything is so delicious. You guys can find her at Union Hall and Waco and at Union Grove in Woodway. Follow at Armstrong's Bayou Cafe Corporation on social media. To my girl, Anika Armstrong, keep doing your thing, girl. Keep your head up, and I love you so much. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Blue Star RV Services, my boy Manny Guerrero, mobile RV tech, who can fix all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and even your food trucks. The food trucks breaks down, he's got you, all right? He deals with the warranty company, so you don't have to deal with all that. Just pay him the small service fee. Him and his hot team will come out there and fix everything in one go. Follow on Facebook or call the number on the screen of Blue Star RV Services. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Joseph Blancas with JB Auto Detailing provides mobile details for all of Waco and the surrounding area. Listen, those jobs can get a little bit pricey, but he has different packages on his website, jbautodetailing.net, and every single package is promising 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Let him come to you and get your car looking brand spanking new and fresh. Call the number on the screen to book to JB Auto Detailing. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Tamborazo Estilo Rancho with Carlos Salazar. Oh, I wanted to say it like the radio voice. I wanted to do it like that. Right? Providing live music for any event, birthday parties, quinceas, weddings, and so much more. Even divorce parties. And if you're having a divorce party, send me, please. Get the party started with the best group in the area. Sure to get everyone off their feet and enjoy all the festivities. Call the number on the screen to book and follow on Facebook at Tamborazo Estilo Rancho. LLC. I did it, Carlos Salazar. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, the Waco Bolt and Supply Company, your new go-to source for nuts, bolts, and all industry supplies, offering a wide selection of high-end products with competitive pricing. This is perfect for all my friends that I have here on social media that watch The Public Affair, that are handymen, that are construction workers, whatever. You guys need tools, you guys need equipment, they got you at Waco Bolt and Supply Company. Follow on Facebook. And for more information, call the number on the screen. Se habla español también to Waco Bolt and Supply Company. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. How was that? Impressive, right? I can do your campaigns.
That was.
I can do your
That
campaigns.
was amazingly
Thank
fast.
you so much.
And I
yes.
got this thing in my lap.
Oh, that's fine. You can move it if you like. There you go. Just there you go. Just,
So, what are we doing here? I got all kinds of stuff in my face.
No, you're good.
So
it
bad.
just keeps falling. You hold it like that.
Yeah, we'll just reach out and hold it like that.
We'll get the wife. She's
Mike, where are you at, Mike?
Yeah, Mike, we
I
need
need you.
assistance.
Assistance.
No, I think you're good. Yeah, you're good right there. Like, we've never had any problems with the mic until Jeff Aguirre got here.
It's going to fall. It's going to fall.
If it falls, we'll figure it out. Right? You guys, I'm excited to have this next guest on the show. It's a little bit of a different direction for me. I think for him as well. I don't know. He sent me another interview that he did prior, and I was like, it's not going to be anything like that, right? It's like, so not going to be anything like that. But you know what? He's very open-minded. He's very welcoming. I said open-minded already. Listen, he is running for the McLennan County Sheriff here in McLennan County. I'm so excited to welcome candidate for McLennan County Sheriff, Jeff Aguirre is here on The Public Affair.
I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that introduction. I'm very fortunate to be here, and you rolled your R's. I appreciate that.
I did, yes. Because I speak Spanish. I'm Puerto Rican. Get out of here.
Get out
All right?
of here.
I heard the last interview say his name is like, come on, Aguirre.
Aguirre. You got to roll them.
Se habla español. Habla español también.
Poquito.
Okay,
right, yeah. So there's a story there. So
yeah,
there's a story. There's an explanation why.
Sure. I'd love to hear it.
We're gonna get there, man.
We're gonna get there.
We got an hour. We got an hour to get there.
We do. Well, listen. Let me just start by saying, first of all, shout out to the wife in the background. She bought. Thank you for this. Thank you for this water. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. You're a lifesaver. Okay. Okay. And so, I'm really excited to have you here because my DMs for months have been, when are you going to get Jeff Aguirre on the show? Jeff Aguirre, you're such a big Latino inspiration, and so is he, blase, blase. Damn it. I will call Jeff Aguirre right now, and we will talk about it, okay? And we did.
That's the craziest thing. I was telling her that when we spoke, you were telling me that you were driving someone around, and they were like, hey, get him on your show.
I was doing Uber, because I do Uber sometimes, and the person that I picked up at 5 a.m. was like, Jeff Aguirre is my cousin. I was like, I hear that name all too often. I will call him. And she inspired me to call you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me what her name is because I really don't know. But she's one of your distant cousins for sure.
Well, I've got about 40 to go through, so I'll find out who did.
She's like, he's such an inspiration. He's been through so much in his life, and I think he'd be a really good guest on your podcast. And I was like, okay, we'll do it, right? And really quick. My friend Joe Hernandez is a deputy sheriff.
Okay.
Yes, and he was so excited to know that I was going to have you on the show.
Good.
And then was even more excited to know that you knew who he was. So
I know Joe Bonnie. Yes,
I swear to God, he could not. He was like, he did not say my name like that. I was like, yes,
I promise
did.
you, I know who he is.
That could be a good or bad thing, though. Can't
no, man.
Okay.
I keep. I'm no longer at the sheriff's department. Okay. I left about 18 months ago, but I do keep track of the people that are there. I kind of try to keep up with. What's going on in their lives and who they are. And I know who he is. And we're on Facebook together, so I get to see his life as it unfolds.
Joe, I told you owe me $20. And then when I date Jeff's brother, I can get you into all the parties.
Oh, well, here we go. How do you know about my brother?
Because I do my homework. Jeff, why does your mic keep falling? Nobody else ever has that issue.
Mike left. It's stripped out. It's going to fall.
It's going to fall.
But I'll hold it.
There you go. Well, no, and big shout out to Joe again. He just became deputy sheriff. Maybe, I think, earlier this year, I can't remember. We had a party.
Yeah, he went to the academy.
He went to the academy and he's so happy. And he was like, I cannot believe you're having Jeff. He's rooting for you too.
Oh, you can't say that.
All these people are rooting for you. I was like, okay, I'll get him on the damn show. My bad. And so, running for sheriff sounds like it's pretty stiff right now. It's
a close race.
It's a close race. Yeah. Okay, I know how that feeling because I've been up for the Waco Award. It's not the same, but the Waco Awards 3 years in a row, and I've won every year. But it's still, I get that feeling of anxiety.
Well, let's keep it rolling. Rub some of that good luck off on me.
I'm going to. Yes,
I'm giving you
I'll give you all my juju. Okay, so listen. Like I said, we met because my DMs would not stop being lit for Jeff Aguirre, and then your drunk cousin told me to get you on the show, so I was like, "Bet." It was 4 in the morning.
If they were drunk, we're gonna have to talk.
No, she wasn't drunk. She was not drunk. I think I don't know what she was doing. Who cares? But okay, listen. So Jeff, introduce yourself to anybody because again, this is a bit of a different direction on my podcast. We don't normally get into like the politics and stuff like that. I have once or twice. I've dabbled in it, but I tell my listeners who you are, please.
So my name is Jeff Aguirre. I'm a South Waco kid. Yeah. I grew up in South Waco, and my mother married. It's no secret.
Sure.
We've talked about it from the stage. My mother was a kid with a kid. She wasn't ready for me and everything that I brought to the table.
Sure.
And she got married and moved me out to the north end of the county, and I ended up going to Valley Mills, Texas.
Oh.
And they got divorced. It seemed like they were married for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And she got a divorce, and she moved to Dallas, and I stayed with the gentleman she married. He helped raise me.
So that wasn't even your dad?
Nope.
Okay, got you.
Nope. I found my dad. The year COVID hit. My wife found him.
That was just a few years ago.
Yeah. So my wife found him. So I'll be 50 next month. I'll be 50, and I found that I've got 2 brothers, a sister. I found my father's story. I got to tell you a story, and so we're jumping a lot forward in time.
Okay.
But the whole time I was in Afghanistan, the one thing I never wanted to do was neglect my children.
Okay.
It was they didn't understand where I was or what I was doing.
Sure.
My daughter used to say, he keeps people safe. That's all she'd tell people. He keeps people safe.
Yeah.
And I'd come home from Afghanistan. It's about a 17-and-a-half-hour flight.
Yeah.
And I'd always know I don't fly well. I try to sleep, try to do whatever I can do to stay asleep.
Sure.
And every time I'd wake up, there was a video of Santa Claus. I'd always come home for Christmas. There's a video of Santa Claus clearing customs, and he gets in trouble because he's got a bag full of gifts. And Santa Claus never declares his gifts, right?
Sure.
It wasn't until 2019 that I realized that every year I watched that video for the 8 years I was gone, that Santa Claus was my father.
Wow.
Yeah, my wife found him. My brother showed me that video.
I'm lost right now.
My father, his wife, my two brothers, and my sister all work for the government.
Gotcha. Oh, I see.
So they made that video, and it just kind of made its way through the governmental channels and ended up in a TSA video.
There you go.
And man, I watched him for 8 years without knowing him. It was my father.
That's so wild. Okay.
So
wait, but life for you growing up, though, I mean, because you mentioned that your mom was kind of about that life, and then, you were raised by another gentleman. And so did you face any hardships, Jeff?
Yeah, man, come on. It was the 70s and 80s.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was the 70s and 80s. The 70s were kind of...
You don't look like you're more than 21. Stop.
I appreciate that. Yeah. The thing in the 70s, growing up, I think it was more about a racial divide or a cultural divide.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in the 80s, everybody was wilding out doing what they do.
Yeah, totally.
So, I was too white to be brown and too brown to be white.
Okay.
So it was kind of, all, I've always played the middle. But you know what, that single-handedly has been my best attribute in my entire life. Yeah, for sure. Working narcotics, it always plays good to be in the middle. You're not the bad guy. You're not the cop. You're the guy in the middle.
I know.
And it worked well overseas in Afghanistan and in Haiti.
I know. I can't wait to get into your undercover work because I have so many questions. My dream. Do you guys watch that show, To Catch a Predator? I know this is so weird. I always wanted to be the decoy.
Occasionally, we watch it occasionally.
I don't look like a 12-year-old boy, though. That's the problem.
Come on. 14.
I can be 14, right?
All right,
I can be 14. I just did career day, and those little kids told me I look every bit of 60 because I have a bald spot. I didn't appreciate that. All right? Shout out to La Vega Elementary. No, I did. I always wanted to be the decoy and To Catch a Predator. I wanted to be the boy. You know what I mean? That you guys send out to lure the predator, and then you guys take him out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird. Is that weird? I told that to Chief.
That's so weird. But okay,
I told that to Chief Victorian. I did tell her that, and she didn't know what to say either.
Has she been here?
She's been on this show.
Come on now, following good footsteps.
Yes. You should have called her. You should have did your homework like I did my homework, Jeff.
Oh, my bad. I apologize. Busted. Okay. Listen, I just got busted.
Okay, no, and you know what? I did find out that you have a brother that's like kind of like me, and I want to know if he's single, so that way I can be a part of your family too.
He is not. He works for the government. He's up in what is it, Pennsylvania or somewhere way up north.
Well, if he's ever single and you guys need a new guest at the dinner party, just
I'm
available. Okay. me and the wife know what's up. Yeah. Okay, listen. So you've been through some hardships in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, parents weren't around all the time. How did you end up not becoming a product of your environment?
It's man, that's going to sound terrible.
Yeah,
it's going to sound terrible on tape. But here's the deal. Growing up, I had a lot of examples.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, you said a while ago, my mom being about that life.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of examples about who I didn't want to be.
Okay.
And I knew at an early age that there were people in her life that I could gravitate to.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were people in her life that I knew that I didn't want to be that person.
Want to be like that. Okay.
So, as it transpired, I was a kid just trying to make my own way, trying to survive myself.
Sure.
And then the first chance I had at freedom, even before that, when she married the gentleman out in Valley Mills,
mm-hmm.
Clayton took me in, he raised me,
mm-hmm.
he did everything he'd do, teach me how to play sports, and taught me how to work, taught me how to be a good person.
Yeah.
And but outside of that, my first taste at freedom, I kind of reverted back to being all about me.
Sure.
Because it's that first taste,
yeah.
It's that first foray out into the world, if
yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
But there in itself is another story about when I got into law enforcement.
Yeah.
Because when I got into law enforcement, it was an overnight transition from who I had learned to become to who I knew I was going to be.
Okay, I see. That's pretty inspiring, though. And I really like that you didn't become a product of your environment, because I feel like a lot of people use that as like an excuse, to kind of like F up in life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then when things are going south in their life, they tend to blame it on their circumstances. But it didn't work for Jeff Aguirre. Now he's running to be the sheriff.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so that means, same, so I admire that about you as well. did you ever find yourself maybe going down the wrong path at some point? Because it seemed like it was almost like put in front of you to do so, though. Do you know what I mean? So did you ever make some mistakes that, you know?
I did. Yeah. I did. You know, it was South Waco in the 80s, man. Yeah. I mean, we could do, whatever you wanted. We would run around. We'd run around when the sun come up, and we didn't come home when the street lights went on. Yeah, We did what we wanted to do where we wanted to do it. Sure. It was the kind of the birth, if you will, of the. Not that I was in it, but it was the kind of the birth of the gang agents, the age and the part where people grouped up and clicked up, and everybody was just trying to find themselves.
Right.
And as much as I'd like to say that I did something special, I was nothing more than blessed.
Wow, that's good.
I was nothing more than blessed to be put in the right position to do what I needed to do.
I love that. I love that so much. No, I love that for you because, again, you had the odds were not in your favor in terms of like not luxurious, to say for lack of a better term, what I mean? A life of success.
No, but here's the crazy thing is I've still got friends. I've still got friends from South Waco from when I was a child. I've got Johnny, I've got Gabe, I've got a lot of people in my life.
How old are you? 30?
Yes, I'm 30.
So
we'll go with that.
You know a lot of people that were on the show.
Yeah, I'll be 51 next month.
Oh no, you're not. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop this.
Yeah, I'm a lot more baby faced without the hair.
Yeah.
This white beard is a product.
The wife is keeping you young over there. It's because
she is.
The Josh. Yes.
She is, but
it's the Josh, honey. Yes. Okay.
My every gray hair I have is a product of my 2 daughters and my son.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
not my career, nothing else.
Did you find any hardships being a dad, especially growing up in the circumstances that you did? Like maybe you weren't equipped to do so.
It's crazy you asked that. I did, but fact of the matter is this: my daughter, when I left, was 6 years old. My son was, excuse me, my son was 3.
Oh, I see.
And my youngest hadn't been born yet. And I was gone for 8 years.
Oh, wow.
So you put that into perspective. I came home when my youngest was 8 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, the baby missed out.
And my oldest was 14.
Oh, wow.
13.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to do that. She did it all on her own.
Wow. We should have had, wife. We're going to talk about that later. Okay. I want to get into your early law enforcement career. I thought it was so cool that you did undercover for a long time.
I did.
Yeah, which I love that job, right? I couldn't ever do it because I would blow our cover in 2 seconds, right? Even if I was a 12-year-old boy, they would know. They would know. I'm too much, So what?
We need to step away from that 12-year-old boy thing, man. You're worrying me. No, I'm joking.
No, I do. Like I stopped, numerically speaking, I stopped counting after 21. So I'm going to be 21 for the rest of my life.
So you just forever young. That's it. You're Peter Pan.
I could pass as the decoy.
You're Peter Pan. That's it. You're forever young.
Yeah, and I can fly too. So okay, what about that? No, listen. So, what inspired Jeff Aguirre to get into a career of law enforcement?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you what. Honestly, truthfully, it was an accident.
No,
it was the blessing of God. My mother worked in the courthouse, and I had the opportunity to know a lot of people in the courthouse and a lot of judges and a lot of lawyers. And at the time, after 8.5 years of working various restaurants and waiting tables and just kind of living that life, I got that job working in corrections for McLennan County.
Oh yeah,
and it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Truly, I got in there, and here's the thing: a lot of people don't understand. They think, "Oh, well, you're just a jailer." Well, man, there's no such thing as just a jailer.
Right, yeah.
Those guys work. I mean, you're in there. Those guys in there now they're in there for 12 hours a day. 4 days a week, But now, with the way things are, they're in there 6, 7, 8 days a week, and sometimes they don't get a day off in a couple of weeks. And
so strenuous.
They didn't do anything to be locked up, but they're locked up.
They're locked up.
But
with dangerous people, for that matter.
Well, and here's the thing: there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to feed them. You got to make sure they get their medication. You got to keep their medical schedule.
Right.
And outside of their medical schedule, you got to make sure they get their mail. You got to make sure that they've all got problems. Here's the thing, their video tablets aren't working. The phone's not working. They didn't get their commissary.
They're like a babysitter.
12 hours a day.
You're a babysitter.
12 hours.
For grown people. guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode. My very special guest, McLennan County Sheriff, candidates. Jeff Aguirre is here. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by Banda's Hauling Service with Julian and Ana Banda. They're from South Waco as well. They rent dump trailers, you fill it up, and they haul it away. That's right. They do junk removals, tree brush removals, and haul cars in and out of town. And they're also offering dumpster services as well, so that way you can remove all that unwanted trash from those big, giant South Waco parties that you guys be throwing, and the North Waco parties too. All right, and the East Waco parties and the Hewitt parties and whatever. And make sure you guys hit up Banda's Hauling Service. They're a good number to have in the phone. That in case the car breaks down too, they can come tell you as well. They've told me before. They told me before. He said he'd be there in 20 minutes. He was there in 10 minutes. Book now that I'm on the screen to Julian and Ana Banda. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Myra Rosales with Strike a Pose Photography, a digital photo booth. Perfect for parties, private events, corporate events, and so much more. It's fun, it's convenient, and it's super easy. Don't let your party go to waste without getting any memories. Book with Strike a Pose Photo Booth with Myra Rosales. She's going to get you taken care of. Call now with the number on the screen to book, and follow on Facebook at Myra Rosales. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, I want to give a huge thanks to Leao Snacks with Eric Leao and Denicio Leao. They're offering the best vending machines and food areas perfect for your business or job. I know a lot of you guys be working at places and they don't have vending machines, or they have those like really outdated vending machines. You got to call them and get the best in variety of snacks and food. That way you can keep your energy going and work a full day. All right, listen, follow on Facebook at Leao Snacks, or just call the number on the screen to see how you guys can get situated to Leao Snacks with Eric Leao and Denicio Leao. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. This episode was also brought to us by On the Road Mobile Repair, my boy Miguel Treto. Listen, your car breaks down, you have nowhere to take it, let him come to you and fix it. You can also book to drop your car off to get tuned up, parts replaced, or any mechanical job. Nothing is too hard for him. Truly the best in the biz. And I think that mobile car repairs is that's so smart, right? Because sometimes you can't take your car anywhere and you need them to come to you. It's the perfect, it's so convenient. Si habla español también, so Miguel Treto. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. I also want to give a huge shout out to Osiel Penguin Benitez with Funtown RV. He's a salesman over there and the best in RV sales that you're ever going to work with. Penguin works overtime to make sure you and your family are situated and settled in an RV best suited for you. You know, springtime is coming up and you want to make sure you guys can go camping and stuff. You know, summer's around the corner too. Or I'm just saying, listen, toy haulers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and so much more. Se habla español también. Follow on Facebook at Penguin's Cool RV Details and Tips, or just call the number on the screen and book a consultation with my boy Osiel Benitez. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, I want to give a big shout out to Soko Soccer Academy. Oh, from South Waco as well. It's Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez, located at 3304 Franklin Avenue. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training and elite skills training to make your kids superb star athletes with one-on-one training sessions with professionals like George De Leon. The Public Affair is also a very proud sponsor of the Soko soccer teams, coached by my bro, my very good friend, Coach Mauro Maldonado. Keep doing your big one, bro. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to sponsor your teams. I'm always rooting for you. They're all from South Waco. They're from South Waco, Jeff. Okay, yeah. No, I'm not from. I'm from New York. The Soko Soccer Academy. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, guys, we're gonna get right back into it with McLennan County Sheriff candidate Jeff Aguirre is here on the public. I love how just like loose you are. Oh, yeah, I really thought you were going to be a stiff. I really did. I thought he was going to be you were a stiff on that other show. And I was like, no, I can't. I even called Joe last night. I said, Joe, I'm so scared that he's going to be a stiff. And you're not. You're very South Waco-y to me.
Man, you know, yeah. it doesn't pay dividends to be all worried. Here's the thing. What's going to happen is going to happen. If you're going to come at me, you're going to come at me. Yeah. We're going to defend it the best we can. We're going to make the best of it. Listen, if you're not having fun, what are you doing?
What are you doing? And do you find it sometimes exhausting being, I call it the media blanket, where you just kind of have to like be under your stuff. You can't be who you are in front of the cameras because then people like will use any little thing against you.
So that's funny you say that. Yes. That actually has come to light recently. Yeah, that you know, who I am is who I am. I've been that way my whole life. Here's the thing, man. You know, I'm 51 years old, so I've been having fun. I've been you know, we tell jokes, we have a drink, we laugh, we have parties. We, like I said a while ago, if you're not having fun, what are you doing?
You're still young too, though.
People. But here's the thing: with the invent of social media, and you got to be more careful. And we're the first generation.
I got you.
Let's call it for what it is. Yeah. We're the first generation that's had to navigate social media. So we grew up being who we're gonna be. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, overnight, we've always got a camera on us.
For sure.
And everybody wants to take a picture and everyone wants to take a video. And then they do it for posterity reasons, but then it falls into the wrong hands and people want to use it. And if you want to use that against me and I'm 50 years old.
Who you're addressing? Do it. Yes, do it.
Yeah, I'm talking to the camera.
No. You said you were going to do that if you were addressing somebody in particular. Do it. Yes.
No. Here's the thing. If you want to come at me for being me, Bro, I knew what I was doing when I started doing this.
Absolutely.
I knew the machine I was. I said the other day to somebody, everybody's popular name, everybody's famous name, everybody's machine, everybody's somebody starts somewhere. And I said in that statement, I said, mine starts now. Mine doesn't start now. Mine started 50 years ago.
Gotcha.
My career started 28 years ago.
Yeah.
The reason people don't know me is because I've made an entire living of being the man behind the man.
Gotcha.
I've been propping up the man and just sitting there and holding him up while everybody, people talk about caring about the front lines when all they care about is being on the front page.
Oof.
That's not who I am.
Oof. I felt that one.
I want people to understand my growth and know that that's what I care about for them.
I love that. And while it is exhausting because I experienced it in my career too, Jeff. It's always fun to be like, oh, we are who we are and this is how we do. And too bad if you don't like it. But at the same time, we do have to watch what we say, what we do, because people do use that against us. And it's so I always tell everybody, the minute if I go sit down and take a piss, somebody's going to be upset with me. Yeah. and all I'm doing is taking a pee in the bathroom. You know what I mean?
You've always got to be available. We want you now. Let's go.
It's so crazy. I tell that to my friends too, who are one of my best friends is becoming very notable in what he does. And we have these conversations all the time, and while it can be so exhausing.
You didn't throw him out there. You threw Joe out there, but you didn't throw your buddy
shout
out
to Mauro Maldonado, the
all
coach
right,
of the SoCo soccer teams.
Because
he's come very far in his career as well as a human being, as an individual, and I'm very proud of him. And we've had these conversations very early on when he started becoming a notable coach, and I was like, you have to really be careful, what you say on social media. I had to deal with it too. You know what I mean? But we learn from each other because there's things that I do on the show where he'll check me too. He'll check me too, and he has no media experience. He's like, bro, you really said that on camera? You know what I mean? Watch what you say next time. And so we learn from each other, and I really appreciate that aspect, of our friendship. And it's good to have people like that. Yeah. But no, okay, so let's just jump right into it. Okay, you're running for the sheriff.
I am.
You're running for sheriff now. Why the decision to do so, Jeff?
Oh man, where do I start? First and foremost, my experience.
Yeah.
I started in the jail. I've worked patrol. Mm-hmm. I've worked investigations. I've been part of specialized investigative units.
Sure.
I've been on both sides of the world.
Yeah.
I'm currently working for the district attorney's office, and when you put all that in perspective, I've got a 28-year career.
Sure.
And my opponent, in his own right, has his own career.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Texas policing and policing in Texas he's got 10 years experience.
Sure.
He became a police officer 10 years ago.
Your candidate did? Or the opposition?
Yeah. He was a federal officer before then.
10 years ago?
So he was a federal officer.
Are you thinking of the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So but there's a difference. Now hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not here to throw shade on him.
No. I'm not throwing shade on him. I don't even know him. I'm just saying. 10 years ago is yesterday.
He was a special deputy U.S. Marshal.
Sure.
And but the feds do the Fed stuff. Work a bank robbery. Work a child molestation. Work a murder. Work a bank robbery.
Sure.
That's what we did. And work an investigation from the ground up and develop informants and work those informants and get investigation and find your bad guys and go do that. That's what I've been doing my entire career. Okay. And 10 years ago, he was elected to sheriff. As the statute was then, you have to be you can get elected and then take your license later.
Right.
As it stands now, if you're not a licensed police officer, they wouldn't elect you to sheriff.
Yeah, I wouldn't understand why that would even be a thing.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say the state had it wrong, but they've since corrected it. If you're not a licensed peace officer, they're not elected.
So school me for a second. The difference between what Joe Bonney does, deputy sheriff, and police officer.
Same thing.
Okay.
You're the police officers are in the city,
sure,
and deputies are outside the city limits.
Oh, okay. So the
city sets inside the county.
Okay.
So if you're in the city, your jurisdiction is within the city limits.
So then that would go to say that responsibility. So let's use you and Chief Victorian as
correct.
Yeah, so then she would be responsible for the city, but then you as a sheriff would be responsible for
the county.
The county.
She's not going to work a case. She's not going to work a case out in Mart or Moody or Hallsberg
sure.
or Rosenthal. She's not going to work a case out there.
Okay.
That's what our guys would do.
That's what you guys would do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find a position like that to be daunting? Do you I mean, did you have to like mentally prep for that, or is it something like what inspired you to want to take on this role?
So first of all is my experience outside.
I mean,
my experience. I've got tons of experience. Second of all is I was inside that building for 10 years. Mm-hmm. I helped start I was one of the founding members of the organized crime unit. Sure. And as we started that unit, it grew. It became something to be revered. Mm-hmm. It goes back further than that. Sure. So my experience when I started at Hewitt and being sent to the sheriff's office to work with the Agriplex Drug Task Force, sure. We learned a lot back then on how it was a multi-jurisdictional task force, and take that for what it is. Right. You have multiple agencies trying to achieve the same goal. Mm-hmm. So what you do when you show up for work every single day is you punch a time card and leave your pride at the door. Oh, I see. So what you do is you say, hey, our goal, our objective is all the same. Okay. So nobody gets the credit. As long as a bad guy, I got a good friend of mine, Daryl, and Daryl says, as long as the bad guy goes to jail, that's all that matters. Okay. So we would do that day in and day out. Now keeping and being removed from that and going overseas and that separation when I came back to the organized crime unit, there were 3 of us. Okay. From the previous days that started this organized crime unit. We had a ton of knowledge and experience, and we hit the ground running, and it was something to be revered across the state. Mm. So as the good people were put in positions to do great things, that did happen. But over time, it just kind of went one way or the other, and some people left, and some people reassigned. At some point, you've got to stop, take a step back, and say, how did we get here, and where are we going? Got you. At 50 years old, as I know, looking in, I know how we got here. There you go. At 50 years old, I know where I want to go. Oof. I see. So, Jeff, it bears the question, what are you going to do different than what's going on in office right now? Like, what makes you the better candidate to vote for? There's no question. Yeah. Outside of those doors, and I can see the building from here. I can look out your window and I can see the building from here. Outside of those doors, there's not a lot you can do different. Those men and women that are there are doing the best they can with what they've got. Inside those doors, I can give them more. Okay. I see. I can give them more. Then what's going on now? Absolutely. Wow. Okay. So there's an effective lack of leadership, in my opinion. Sure. There's an effective lack of leadership. And now, listen, here's the thing. That comes with a myriad of reasons. Mm-hmm. It comes with age. It comes with complacency. Let's face it. He's been there for 12 years. Okay. He's faced 2 opponents. He's beaten them both. Mm-hmm. His third campaign was unopposed. Mm. When you have the name and you have the backing and you have the stigma, or not the stigma, but the popularity that he has, there is a probability or a chance that you get complacent and you think, I'm at the top of my game and nobody's coming for me. Sure. I tell my kids, I've coached softball. Yeah. I've watched my kids grow up. I've got one that plays select volleyball. Yeah. I tell my kids all the time. I gave a speech at in South Waco for the football team there, for the Southern Panthers. Okay. I gave a speech to them and I told them, no matter how much you think you're on top of your game, you're doing 2 things. You're setting yourself up as a target, and you're setting yourself up as an example. Yeah. There are people that want to be you, and there are people that want to beat you. Yeah. So in this regard, I want to be better moving forward in the future than what we've had in the past, and that's why I'm here. Do you think the opposition might be comfortable? Like there's no way nobody's gonna knock me down. Like I'm here. I've got the name. I've got the stamp. You know what I mean? Yeah. I do. I believe there's a little bit of that. Maybe what comes with that too is, like you just said, an effective lack of leadership. Like, well, I don't have to work the best. I don't have to do the best that I have to do because
I've got the reputation behind me.
So
right?
let me be clear. I'm going to move this microphone.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to move this microphone.
Your mic just loves being on your lap, and I don't know why it's doing that. It's because you're on the public affair.
So here's the deal. Yeah. I've told people since we started this thing before May.
Yeah.
My opponent was my friend for a very long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not here to bash him.
We don't want to bash him.
No,
we don't
for
want
sure.
to do that. But
for sure.
We want to know these answers. Yeah.
But there comes a point in your life when you surround yourself with people that take advantage of your trust and your loyalty. And listen, when you're a good guy, when you're a good dude, people take advantage of you.
Fill me up, girl. Okay, we about to get into a whole. No, I was kidding. Yeah, okay. She was gonna go too. I love her. Yeah,
she taught me off.
No, but yeah, go ahead.
But fact of the matter is this:
y'all listen to this shit.
He's a good person. He's a good person, But being a good person doesn't make you a good leader. You have to be willing to go through that door of the unknown and have people willing to follow you. And in my opinion, that's not what's down there.
What's going on?
And in my opinion, I bring that to the table.
I see. Okay. Yeah. No. I hats off to you. You seem to me have like this underlying effort to promote diversity. When it comes to your supporters, when it comes to the people that are going to vote for you, and I'm going somewhere with this because it's gonna it bears the questions. Like some people might argue, or some people might think that you're almost being a poster child, or or maybe not that you're intentionally doing so, but I can relate to everybody in the inner city, the South Waco or whatever. Do you think that some people might think that you're using that to take advantage, or is it an advantage for you to rally support behind you?
No, it's an advantage for me.
Yeah. So then with that being said, how do you convince us that you are the best candidate to represent us?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
When we started this deal, we started it as a grassroots effort.
Okay.
The day I announced, there were 4 people in there that are, what do we call it? Justice challenged is what I've been told it's called. They were in prison. They came out. They were out of the 4 that were in there. 3 of them I put in there. And they came out and they said, hey, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have my wife. I wouldn't have my kids. I wouldn't have my grandkids.
Oh, wow.
There was a gentleman last night.
Yeah.
Last night. That posted on Facebook.
Like
What's
December
today?
28th.
December 28th.
Okay.
He posted a deal and he said, and I got some flack for this. I sent it out to some friends and I got some flack for this.
You can't do nothing without getting flack, but go ahead.
He sent me a text message.
Sure.
And he said, hey, I'm going to post this on Facebook. I'm released from parole. You put me in prison. And I came out. I've got a wife. I've got kids. I've got grandkids. I've got a job. I've got things that I never thought I would have. I also have my parole papers, and for the first time in my life, I have a voter's registration card.
Oh, wow.
Welcome back to society.
Wow.
And then I had somebody say, well, you're endorsed by felons. Well, no, I'm endorsed by somebody who made a mistake, paid their debt to society, and is trying to get back and be a contributing member of some of the society that we need to be contributing members.
Oh.
How long do we hold them down?
Right. I love that you said that. That's like the answer I was looking for that I did not think you were going to give me. Honestly, it's just so genuine. Many would argue that, oh yeah, you're supported by these ghetto people, you know what I mean, or whatever the case is, or these people that do so wrong in their life. There's no way you have a leg up. But just like what you just said right now, oh God, Jeff. Oh, you shook me. I was trying to scare you on the public affair.
Oh, I don't shake, brother.
Oh man, there's no taking this one down. I came in with the eyes too, yeah, I got you. You know what I mean? So okay.
But at the same time,
it's got to be a rewarding feeling.
It's taxing. It's tiring.
Because
here's the deal.
Yeah.
I said earlier, if you're this far into the podcast, you heard me say earlier, I've always been the guy in the middle. I've been the guy that didn't fit in. Growing up, it's a chip on your shoulder. You go into a house and they got a brother and a sister and a dog and 2 cars in the driveway and a mother and a father. Well, I didn't know who that was.
Yeah.
I had a mother that wasn't around. I didn't know my father until my mother got married. That guy became my father. And then fast forward till I'm 47 years old. And then all of a sudden I've got a real father. And it's like I've always been trying to split the middle as to not offend either side. And this is what I tell people. If you'll only stop and listen, I put a deal on Facebook. I got a really good friend of mine. His name's Johnny Gonzalez, and we go at each other on Facebook.
I know of Johnny. Yeah, we construction, right?
Yeah, we go at each other now. We go at each other. But there was a meme on Facebook, and it's two men, and these men are standing opposite of each other, and one of them is looking down at a number 6, and the other one is looking down at a number 9. What they see is real. They just don't see it from each other's perspective.
I'm gonna send that to my best friend.
So
I'm gonna send that to my best friend.
Yeah. So you know, it's that's one thing that's always stuck with me is that, especially in this business, you got to understand it as a law enforcement official.
Right.
There are 330 million people in America.
Right.
Less than 1 million of them are police officers. So we're outnumbered on every day you wake up. Every day the sun comes up, we're outnumbered 330 to 1.
Right.
And then you factor in what we do. We deprive people of their God-given rights. We either lock them up, we deprive them of their liberty to move around, we deprive them of places to go, we deprive them of their guns by virtue of doing our job.
Right.
You know, and it's not an easy job.
Right.
It's not an easy job by any stretch. But what we need to do is we need people to understand that we have to see things from both perspectives.
I love that you say that. I feel like we can have a conversation for 5 hours. I'm going to come to your house one day and we can have more Josh. We can have more Josh, please. Okay, and just let us sit in the back porch and just talk. Okay. No, but you know, so Jeff, here goes the other thing, right? Because this is the hard part. So while you do rally the people behind you, and there's a lot of people. Let's just talk about South Waco for a second. The plethora of my guests have been from South Waco, right? And I just shared with you, I'm not even from South Waco. It just happened, right? And so, you know, you have these people that you relate to, that back you, that support you. The hard part is getting them to the voters' poll.
Absolutely.
So what efforts are you taking to do so that way you can convince these people, look, I need you guys to go take minutes out of your day, go vote for me, and I will bring the change that you guys need.
You know, I don't know that.
And it's not just for South Waco, though.
No,
it's for McLennan County.
It's across the county.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. So when I started this thing, I was told two things that really upset me. A couple things, three things. I was told, one, that elections in McLennan County take money. Basically, I was told that they were bought, and I don't have enough money to keep up. So take that for what it's worth.
We need another hour of a studio time, Mike.
The second thing I was told was that I can't win because I got a Hispanic last name. And then the third thing I was told was, because of my age and the demographic that I seek out, that anybody under 55, they don't matter. 55 and under. Now take that for what it's worth.
Sure.
I don't know how old you are.
I'm 30. Well, I stopped counting after 21.
But how long do you have
God
to go?
God says I'm 32.
Okay, so you're looking at another 23 years before somebody thinks you matter.
Wow,
that's a problem. And here's what they said. They said they don't take politics serious enough. They don't, and that might be a political strategy that people follow. But the fact of the matter is I can't subscribe to that. And here's why. One, because I'm Hispanic and my last name is what my last name is.
It's Aguirre.
And two, that's my age demographic. And I was told, if you're counting on those people to support you and get you to the finish line, you're going to be sadly mistaken, because they're not responsible enough to do it. All I have is my word, my social media, and my social following. And people, listen, here's the deal. You were driving a car at 4:00 in the morning and somebody said, put this guy on your show.
Yes.
That's all I've got.
Absolute fact.
The only thing I have is for people to say, this is our guy. It's a movement. I'm not a politician.
Right.
I'm a guy from South Waco who thinks I know what McLennan County needs.
Right.
And I need to stretch that across the county, across Waco, Marlin, Moody, McGregor, Bruce Valetti, Lorena West. I mean, come on.
You know, yeah. And here in Waco.
Yeah, well, you know, this, like I said, across Waco.
You know, I just think that I like the conversation that we had earlier about, you know, your past, where you're from. You're from and, you know, shout out to every side of Waco, but you're from a side of town that, you know, people, as soon as they hear it, I feel like people are simple-minded, right? And I had this conversation with my best friend, and I feel like people have a hard time shifting their paradigm, right? When it comes to your past, when it comes to the circumstances that you grew up in, right? And so do you think that it's fair for your past to be used against you in this particular race, where they're like, oh no, wait, this guy's from South Waco, no, he's about that, like, isn't his mother like one of those people that didn't raise him? Like, what, how is he equipped? There's no way. Like, they would do that. They would do that. They will because that's what happens. And I hate that shit. Excuse me. I hate it because it's so hard for people, again, to shift their paradigm. And for, like, I take myself as an example, Jeff. The same person that Andrew G is now is not the same person 10 years ago. Yeah. There's no way you would have told me I would have had the #1 podcast in Waco. And that I was going to be sponsoring a soccer team and that I was going to be getting booked for, you know what I mean? Yeah. My best friend, I said the same thing. 3 years ago, I would have never saw you as a notable soccer coach that people were checking for. You know what I mean? And you know, now you are, and you're so reputable. You know what I mean? But people will always use our past against us.
I don't think people register that I'm from South Waco. Mm-hmm. I think they see me as a I think what sticks with them most is I'm a former sheriff's deputy.
Oh, I see.
I was there.
Okay.
And I'm trying to change it. And it sparks the question, what's he trying to change?
I got you.
As far as my mother goes and says, yeah, she wasn't one of those people that wasn't around. I say this, you know, my mother and I, we've had a rocky relationship, yeah. You know, but it's good, it's bad. But what kid trying to find his own way doesn't?
True.
You know,
yeah.
Make waves. You know, she did the absolute best she could with what she had. Like I said, you know, 16, 17 years old, she wasn't ready to have a kid. She left South Texas because she was pregnant. She landed here in Waco. We talked about that earlier, yes, about the Spanish.
Absolutely.
She landed here in Waco, and in 1972, she landed here. She was taken in by a predominantly white Waco.
Right.
So when I was born, I was raised by a predominantly white Waco that was 20 years older, 30 years older than me.
Right.
And as I've grown, I've watched my mom's friends be successful,
mm-hmm.
grow old, pass on. And I've made, you know, my family, the family I share with them, is those people, their kids, their grandkids, the people that have grown up along the way. This is 50 years in the making.
Sure.
So I don't think anybody holds that against me. I think what people hold against me, by the same token, is this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my opponent's last name. I don't have my opponent's history.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell people what I'm doing, the first thing they say is, oh, you're up against him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I'm not up against him. I'm not running this campaign against him. I'm running this campaign for the city, for the county of McLennan County. I'm not up against him.
Right.
I'm trying to do the best for me, my family, the employees that are there.
Yeah.
And I tell people this. And they say, well, you know, your opponent's got such a storied history. Well, where did it start? What has he done? What has he accomplished? What is his experience?
Besides the last name, besides the popularity, besides the...
And what I said a while ago, everybody's story starts somewhere. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step.
Yeah. This
is my one step.
Gotcha. Do you, I hate that we're running out of time, girl. We could be here for 5 hours.
Come on.
No, yeah, but we are running out of time. But I do have one more question, and I really want you to answer it as honest as possible. It seems like you have a good support system behind you, especially when I was talking with Joe. You know, he was just like, you know, a lot of people are really rallying behind this guy, Andrew. Have him on your podcast. You know, Joe was the one who pushed me to have you on the podcast. And so,
you're going to get him in trouble. You know that, right?
No, I'm not. Joe's awesome. He's such a great guy. I love him.
He is a great guy.
He's so awesome. He's an amazing dad, husband, and I went to Vegas for his wedding or his bachelor party. And so,
really, what happened while you were there?
Shut up. I'm not saying.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Exactly.
There you go.
And I'm only speaking for myself, because I did some nasty. Anyway, so okay, so no. Honestly, before we go, you have a great support system. You have a great group of people rallied behind you, is what it seems like. And you know, the ultimate thing is getting them to the voters' poll, right? Do you, Jeff Aguirre, and we talk about your opponent having the popularity, the last name, some people become lazy when it comes to voting. They're just like, oh, well, you know, he's popular. We let him, you know, there's politics behind politics. Do you think you stand a chance?
I think we're winning it. And I'm going to tell you something. Yes. And I'm going to tell you something that I haven't said.
That made me smile.
I have not espoused this yet from a stage, and I will now.
Sure. This is a public affair exclusive, by the way. Good.
It's been rumored
that
my opponent has no intention. As he approaches 80, here's the deal. I'm 50, and I've been told to stay away from age. And here's the thing. He's got a storied career. And I told you earlier, you can be a good person and not be a good leader. As my opponent, he has a plan. As it is rumored, he has a plan to beat me. Do a little bit of work, and then walk away and hand this off. People ask me why I'm here, so let me tell you why I'm here.
Yes, sir.
I'm here because 28 years of law enforcement in McLennan County and around the world, my career has led me here to help the citizens of McLennan County, and I don't think it's fair that one man has the power to decide who his successor is to watch over 250,000 people. I would rather stand here on this show and in that street with my arms open saying, ask me the hard questions. Let me earn it.
Yeah.
If you decide to go against me, then it's something I said or it's something he said that made you choose a side. But if you're going to try to take this from me at this time and give it to somebody else, I have no choice but to fight for what I want. And this is 28 years in the making. I didn't get here yesterday.
Absolutely. You didn't get here 10 years ago neither.
Absolutely.
That's what you said. He's 80? Anyway, okay. So
I said as he.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Am I tripping? Or was it Josh? Okay. Anyway. Well, listen, Jeff, I wish the best for you. I do hope that this comes out in your favor. I had such a good time. I didn't know what to expect with you coming on the show. And I met a man who while he holds these high ranking positions, you're very much like us. And I hope that translates on the voters poll. I hope that the people who watch this episode, whether it be 200, 2,000, 20, more than 20, please. I hope that they listen to you and know that you are representing us. I hope that we need representation. I am a Latino as well, and I'm a double minority. You know what I mean? I'm Latino and I'm gay as hell, and so I feel like you're not gay, but I feel like you represent me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you represent me in my ideals. I feel like you represent me in my current paradigm. And I hope that this translates and draws you guys. I encourage you, please. Listen, I don't be asking y'all for nothing. All right? I don't ask you for no money, no nothing. Go vote Jeff Aguirre for McLennan County Sheriff. Please.
Absolutely.
Do me a favor for my birthday. I know it's in July, but still, early birthday present.
Hey, mine's not. Mine's January 14th.
For his birthday, because that's close to when the episode's coming out, I think. Let me check the calendar. Hold on. Oh, the 15th. No, the 22nd. The 22nd.
There you go.
I encourage you guys to go vote Jeff Aguirre if you want to see change within McLennan County, if you want to see anybody that represents us in McLennan County. And Jeff, I just wish you nothing but the best.
Well, I appreciate that.
I wish you nothing but the best. I hope that this works out for you. And it was such an honor meeting you. And when you do win, we're having a party. When you win, we're having a party.
Oh, we're going to have a big one.
We're having a discala, right? We're going to have a party. Bring the Josh, and you can bring the liquor, okay? And we're going to have a whole party. I'm going to go live on my Facebook. And I'll do a giveaway. How about that? If Jeff wins, I'll do a giveaway.
Absolutely.
I'll do a giveaway, $100 gift card. All right?
I'll match it. Let's go.
That's $200, baby. All right? Jeff, can you leave us with anything before we go?
No, other than my name is Jeff Aguirre, I'm running for sheriff of McLennan County. I would appreciate your support. My platform is this. I'm on the Republican ticket of the primary ballot, but first and foremost, we're all human. We're all children of God. We make mistakes. We heal. We learn. We grow. The fact of the matter is we just have to love each other. And this is what I've told people, and I want people to understand this. As we've gone through this, there are people that have jeopardized relationships and friends and family. Politics isn't worth losing loved ones. You don't know how long you got with them. You got to love them while you have them. March 6th, the day after the election, we all got to go back to being friends and family again. Love each other. Be good to one another. Consider the future. That's why I'm here. This is my life's work. 28 years of work comes down to one day.
Wow.
And all I ask for people is to read the story, understand where I come from, know what I have to give, and vote me in March 5th, 2024.
Okay. And I hope that we do. One more question. What happens if it doesn't work out in your favor, Jeff?
It's God's plan. We'll see what happens.
Oof, I learned that the hard way. All right.
Well, no, here's the deal, man.
Yeah,
I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed
Sure.
in the job I have. I'm very blessed with the boss I have. I've got a great wife. We've been together for, 28 years we've been
She's
married.
Like, you better get it right. Look at her back there.
We've been married for 24 years. We've been together for 28. Life's not easy. Like we talked about a while ago. I was gone a large part of our marriage in Afghanistan and Haiti and traveling the world.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if this doesn't work out, I told somebody a while back. Actually, I told the news.
Sure.
They wrote a story, and I said, God didn't promise me a victory. Mm-hmm. God promised me the energy to run the race. Mm. And if what I'm supposed to learn is in the race, then I'll learn it. If it's in the victory, I'll take that too.
I love it so much. Well, Jeff Aguirre, it was an honor. Thank you so much, and I wish you nothing but the best in your run. And we're all gonna go vote. So when does early voting start?
February 20th.
That's around the corner. Y'all better don't play with me. All right, I don't ask you guys for nothing. Go vote Jeff Aguirre for McLennan County Sheriff. I'm so excited for you.
Well, brother, I appreciate it.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on to the public affair. I know that this was a little bit out of your. No, it's not even out of your comfort zone. You're just like me.
No, man, it was right in my.
Yeah,
it was right.
It
was right in my. It's right. Got to be more careful. No, it was right in my wheelhouse, man. I appreciate it. I really do. You got an amazing view from here on top.
Shout out to Rogue Media Network getting me this. Yes, love Rogue Media. Thank you to everybody that watched this episode. Thank you guys again so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Vote Jeff Aguirre February 28th.
February 20th through March 5th.
February 20th, March 5th. You guys have all those days to vote Jeff Aguirre, and if he wins, I'm doing. That's not plug-all. I can do a giveaway if he wins. That's celebratory. That is celebratory. That's absolutely. He said he was going to match it. The day after the election, it's up. And it's over. I'm done. It's there. It's up. All right, you guys. Thank you again so much. Now, before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by Brothers Roofing and Remodeling with Jesus Sanchez. He's a small construction business from Mart, Texas, specializing in general roofing needs and so much more. Protect your home from the crazy elements of this Texas weather with his high quality and affordable work, and he also specializes in all remodeling as well. And I know that those jobs get a little bit pricey, but he does offer financing options as well. Just follow him on Facebook. Call the number on the screen. Jesus Sanchez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the J Pedo and Poke. It's giving lunch right now because it's only 2 in the afternoon. Don't you love J Pedo?
I do.
J Pedo, y'all better vote for Jeff Aguirre. Don't play with me. I'm not going no more. All right. Listen, J Pedo provides delicious, savory Japanese crepes and poke bowls. They also have handcrafted Thai rolled ice cream for dessert. You can choose from a menu item or just be like I like to do because I like to be in control, so I like to make my own bowl. All right. And you guys, it's super easy. Just download the J Pedo app or just walk in. Locations on University Parks Drive and Hewitt Drive to J Pedo and Poke. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Elite Barbershop with my boy Sid Rodriguez. You guys do my hair, right? He cut my hair this morning. Located on Hewitt Drive. Call the number on the screen to book or download the Squire app. Walk-ins are welcome as well. He's got Get Ready. Marcus Carrillo, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, Isai Reyes, and Sam Ceballos, making you look as snackish as I have for more than 183 episodes of The Public. Are you timing out me?
Shout out to Clint Fletcher. That's my guy. I like me some Clint
Fletcher.
Fletcher.
He used to be a thing, right? A sheriff or something.
Yep, he was a sheriff's deputy. Yeah.
And Clint's a snack too. Shout out to Clint.
And I love his wife. He does an amazing job, man. If you want a good haircut, he's the one.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna tell you on this episode what happened when he cut my hair, but some great things happened to me when he cut my hair.
And you're gonna make his wife, man.
No. I love her. No, shout out to her. But I'm just thinking beautiful things happened to me when Clint Fletcher cut my hair. So big shout out to Elite Barbershop with Sid Rodriguez. And of course, to Pollo Box and Audio with Jeffrey Monreal, home for all your LED needs and audio accessories, installation of stereo store speakers and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom software enclosures and so much more. Definitely a jack of all trades. And your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. He did my tin. A deputy sheriff stopped me for my tin. So shout out to that. He was doing his job. I don't remember his name, but he was doing his job. And don't stop me when I go. And shout out to the Starlights that he gave me as well. Auto Star backup camera. He's got you guys for everything. The Boy Box and Audio. Jeffrey Monreal, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. He's a South Waco native as well. How about that? How about that to everybody? Thank you again so much for tuning in. Jeff Aguirre. Vote Jeff Aguirre between February 20th and March 5th.
February 20th is early voting. Yes. March 5th is the last day.
Last day. You guys, it don't take. Please do me a favor. I don't ask you for nothing. This guy right here represents us. This guy is us. This guy is going to do good by us. I told you guys no lies on this show for more than 3.5 years, going on 4 years. Jeff Aguirre, it was such an honor. I'm so honored that you came onto The Public Affair. Thank you so much. Yes. And no matter what the outcome is, I'll be rooting for you. And to everybody else, don't forget to always keep it between us. That's it. Woof.
Man.
How was that?
It was a beat down, so rough.
No, it wasn't. It was easy.
No. One thing I want to stress to people is that this job comes with a lot of responsibility.
Sure.
And you have to approach policing from a responsible position. Not
right.
everybody. You know, when I was in, not everybody deserves the same treatment. And what I mean by that is this. So like when I started my career, one of the first lessons I learned was I had a lieutenant, and he told me, he said, "Hey, why do we pull people over?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've been on the job for like 5 minutes.
Right.
And I said, we pull people over to write them tickets.
Sure.
And he's like, no.
While we all getting tickets.
Yeah, everybody gets a ticket, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's not why we pull people over. We pull people over to gain compliance with the law.
Mm.
He says, so you have to go up there and meet that person and determine what's going to get them to comply with the law.
Yeah.
Is it a verbal warning? Is it a written warning? Is it a ticket? Or are you going to have to take them to jail? And you got about 3 minutes to figure that out when you go up there and talk to them.
Yeah.
We can't be a society or a department that goes out and treats everybody the same. Not everybody is the same. Everybody has a different set of circumstances.
Sure, yeah.
Now, do we have discretion? Yes, we have discretion.
Absolutely.
Do bad people need to go to jail? Absolutely.
Right.
But fact of the matter is not everybody is the same. And what makes a police officer an effective police officer is the ability to go up, triage the situation, and say, this is how I'm going to handle it.
Wow.
And when you do that, you put a little bit of humanity back into a job that doesn't have a lot.
I love that. I love that you said that. And, you know, shout out to the Hewitt police officer that stopped me and watches the public affair. I'm not going to say his name, though, because he didn't give me the ticket. But no, big shout out to you. I truly appreciate it.
Well, there you go. He might have learned the same lesson from the same person.
Exactly. Right. That's
there you go.
All right, perfect. Sheesh. Yeah, we can plug that in.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Jeff.
Good looking out, man.
No, truly, I hope that I got to see you in a different perspective.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.